Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Dennis and today we will talk or discuss about Enigma machine. So if you guys remember more than a month ago, basically just before Spooktober started, I believe it was like September, in the middle of September or early September. So basically it's almost 2 months ago, right? We talk about encryption, I believe, and we talk about about encryption, right? And then in that episode I mentioned about the movie Imitation Game, right? And then I also mentioned Enigma as well, and I said that maybe we will talk about the machine in the future, right? But then again, when when I made that video, it was almost like close to October, so that I have to do the Spooktober, right? But now, since everything is cleared, like everything is done, therefore we can come back to that, right? So here we go. We are going to learn about Enigma machine. My main question about this is that how does the machine works, right? How does the machine operates? How does changing the letters work, right, with this machine? And then obviously after that will be how do you decipher that, right? How do you transform from the scrambled words or scrambled letters into the actual letters that you want to use, right? How do you decode that basically? Okay, so those are the question. I also know that this will includes about World War II, right? With Germany as well. Therefore, this might I will try my best not to say the N word over there. But yeah, I guess the Enigma machine is a cipher device developed and used in the early to mid 20th century to protect commercial, diplomatic, and military communication. Okay, so it's used for commercial. I guess it's for if you're trading, I guess. And then type diplomatic. Well, that's obvious because you want your messages to be like encrypted or secured, right? And then military communication as well, which we actually know in the movie, right? In the Imitation Game, which the military actually uses this to plot their battleship, basically, right? So yeah, it was employed extensively by Germany during World War II in all branches of the German military. The Enigma machine was considered so secure that it was used to encipher the most top secret messages. But I think we know the flaw as well, right? Because of the movie, The Imitation Game, which I kind of know as well because it was really obvious, right? If you do a military like order or something like that, you always have something that is repeatable, right? Like something repeated, right? So maybe the first word is hello, right? So that will be H E and then double L, which is actually crucial here, and then O, right? So why double L is crucial because it's the same letter. So if you think about a word that has 5 letters and then two of them being the same consecutively, what would be it, right? Like maybe sorry as well, with double R, right? S O double R and then Y. So you have two R's there, right? However, then again, in this case, it was actually quite smart for them. Like they beat this machine by thinking the most basic, basic knowledge about language, right? About like simple words, basically, like because they know that one way or another the word will be repeated, and there will be like some similarities, right? Like like word that has double letters, right? In this case, like let's say hello, right? So think of any other word is used in the beginning of message, and it is actually has some more than one or multiple letters that are either consecutive or being repeated in the same word, right? So chances are it's quite easy to know that, right? So yeah, it's actually quite interesting when they try to decode this. But yeah, military Enigma machine model Enigma 1 used during the late 93s, 30s, and during the war, displayed at Museo Nazionale Scienza e Tecnologia Leonardo da Vinci, Milan, Italy. Okay. Um, oh, this is probably the original, right? Enigma 1. Okay. So yeah, as you can see over here, there is this cable, right? So the cable was supposed to connect the two letters, and that they will be swapped, I believe, or as the base of the swapping mechanic. So yeah, also we know over here that there's actually multiple of them, right? So probably they can use only one, and then maybe they can use like two, three, or four, right? Just to like more variants, right? So that it's quite difficult to predict as well, right? So yeah, it's in Italy apparently. The Enigma has an electromechanical rotor mechanism that scrambles the 26 letters of the alphabet. In typical use, one person enters text on Enigma's keyboard and another person writes down which of the 26 lights above the keyboard illuminated at each key press. If plain text is entered, the illuminated letters are the cipher text. Entering cipher text transforms it back into readable plain text. The rotor mechanism changes the electrical connections between the keys and the lights with each key press. I think we also see this in the movie as well, where one people will press the actual letter from what they were about to say, and then the second person they are looking at the light basically on the secondary keyboard. There will be lights that actually turn on, right, every time certain letters is pressed, and then the job for the second person is to write down those the letters from the secondary keyboard basically. Okay, so that's how it works, right? The security of the system depends on machine settings that were generally changed daily based on secret key lists distributed in advance, and on the settings that were changed for each message. Oh, I see. So the secret key already been distributed firstly. Okay, so for instance, like first day we will have the key becomes like let's say AB12 CD, right? And then the second day we will have FG 53, and then MO basically, right? And then yeah, and so on and so on. So they probably already know this, right? The secret key list prior to using that, I guess. Germany introduced a series of improvements to the Enigma over the years, and this hampered decryption efforts. They did not prevent Poland from cracking the machine as early as December and reading messages prior to and into the war. Poland's sharing of her achievements enabled the Western allies to exploit Enigma and ciphered messages as a major source of intelligence. Okay, so yeah, because of that as well, right? Like the spy, basically. The same, just like in the movie as well. Many commentators say the flow of ultra communications intelligence from the decrypting of Enigma, Lawrence, and other ciphers shortened the war substantially and may even have altered its outcome. Okay, so because of them, like decrypting the Enigma. Yeah, again, like the movie said as well, right? Estimated uh, millions of soldiers' life got spared, as well as reducing the total amount of war. I believe, like shorten the duration of the war by a few years, which actually a big deal because sometimes like random like civilization like civil people I would say they also got victim as well, right? Like maybe from the health issue, like because everyone was so busy, right, at that time. So maybe healthcare didn't actually work as optimum, right? Um, as well as food source, like water source, maybe they have like food shortage or something like that, right? And then think about the child as well, right? Like this can be traumatized for the children, like the longer the war stays. So mentally speaking, it can shortening the duration of war could actually actually made the children less traumatized, right? Like the longer period, basically, right? So yeah, history, okay, was invented by German engineer at the end of World War One. Oh, okay, so after World War One. Oh, okay, so I, if I have to take a guess, I think what happened there was that during World War One, they realized that communication, maybe there are some spies, right, in the government or something like that, that actually leaks all the plan, right, that they already made. Therefore, they made this communication a little bit difficult to understand, right? That's why they invent cipher, I guess, and therefore the Enigma machine, right? I guess that's what happened there. I think they became a little bit suspicious, I guess, among their own people, right? Like, like which one of these employee, I mean, that work for us doesn't actually work for us, right? So yeah, I guess there's that. Um, okay, Enigma, yeah, okay. So this is the history of that. Um, Oh, okay. So then it got adopted by Germany as well. Oh, well, not really adopted because they actually invented it. I guess it's theirs. But yeah. Um, mm, German military models having a blackboard were the most complex. Okay. I guess the blackboard is the one that the cables, I think, right? Because plug, probably. Japanese and Italian models were also in use. Okay. Breaking Enigma. Oh, here we go. A memorial to Marian Rejewski, the mathematician who first broke Enigma and educated the British and French about Polish methods of cryptanalysis. Okay. Polish mathematician, cryptologists at Cipher Bureau use the theory of permutations and flaws in the German military message to break message keys of the blackboard machine. Okay, permutation is about I think permutation will be like possibilities, I think. Yeah, like basically they try to use all combinations, right? I think. Yeah, because there is permutation, there is combination, right? I think what happened here is that oh well, if you're swapping letters, then why wouldn't I just like think of all the possibilities of the swapping, right? The permutation, basically. So there you go. I guess that's way to put it, right? Okay, daily keys. Okay, those keys included the blackboard settings. The French passed the material to the Poles, and Rojewski used some of the material and the message traffic in September and October to solve for the unknown rotor wiring. Okay, were able to build their own Enigma machines, dubbed Enigma doubles. Okay. Both of whom had been recruited with Rajewski, okay, which had been selected for a student knowledge, okay, okay. Develop techniques to defeat the blackboard and find all components of the daily key, which enabled the Cipher Bureau to read German Enigma messages starting from January. I think one of the key will probably, again, like I said, I think, which is the repeated pattern, right? Like the message from today and tomorrow, like in the beginning in itself, I think there will be like some sort of similarity, right? Like I think in the game, not in the game, more like in the movie, in the imitation game, I think they talk about the weather, right, as the first paragraph. Like the first thing they said is about weather, right? So yeah, there's that. Um, I think that's one of the key as well. Like understanding how like how people behind this think about using it, right? So yeah. Okay, exploited quirks of the rotors, compiled catalogs, built a cyclometer to help make catalog with 100,000 entries. Invented and produced, okay, and built the electron, okay, okay. What when that year the German added two more rotors, 10 times as many bombi would have been needed to read the traffic. Okay. Just okay. Initiated France, British intelligence, yada yada. Okay. Um, okay, intending to evacuate cipher breakers from the country, the criminals, however, had been evacuated by their own superiors into Romania. At the time, a Polish allied country. Okay. Um, Destroy the records and equipment, travel back to France where they resume their cryptological work. Okay, so still don't know how this does, right? Head of Hut 6, Bletchley Park has written Hut 6 Ultra would never have gotten. Okay, so this is the movie, right? Um, but yeah, still I still don't know how to fix it though. Though Enigma had some cryptographic weaknesses, in practice it was German procedural flaws, operator mistakes, failure to systematically introduce changes in encipherment procedures, analyte capture of key tables, and hardware that, to in the word, enable allied cryptologists to succeed. Oh yeah, okay. So I guess it makes sense as well. Computer can work flawlessly. However, the person behind the desk will not, right? They will do. They're just human. So the flaw is actually in the hand of people that are using it, right? So yeah, I guess that makes sense as well. I guess for all technology, right? Unless everyone will be unless everyone will be replaced by AI, then it will be completely perfect, right? But before reaching that, it will still be human operator. Then like just any other electronics, like I said, human will have flaws in using those, right, in operating those computers, right? So yeah, there's that. Design, okay, so this is the first one where they type, and then this is where the lights will go on. Okay, electrical pathway. Okay, so here we go. Enigma wiring diagram with arrows and the number 1 to 9 showing how current flows from key depression to a lamp being lit. The A key is encoded to the D lamp. The A is encoded to the D lamp. Oh, this one, the first one. A becomes no, I don't see it. Okay. A into A though. What do you mean by that? Uh, D. Oh, okay. So I don't know how this works, but yeah. But A never yields A. This property was due to patented feature unique to the Enigmas and could be exploited by cryptanalysis in some situations. Oh, I see. So the same letter can be itself. So yeah, that becomes a flaw in itself as well, right? So if I have the letter A, my opponents will know for sure that the letter A will not be A in the end. It will always be some other letters, right? So knowing that, it reduces the amount of permutations, I would say, because it reduces the possibility of letter by one, right? It should be 26 outcome, right? Can become either A to Z, right? But because this is Enigma, the flaw, then A cannot be A. Therefore, reducing the amount of possibilities by one, so it's only 25. So maybe that makes it a little bit easier as well, potentially, right? So yeah, maybe there's also a bigger case or use of this information as well, right? So yeah, also I guess this is all electronical wiring. I think what happened here as well is that it relies on current, right? The flow of current, and then pressing buttons or including any setting all this plug cable. It means it adds resistance to it, right? Therefore maybe like the current that flows are not at 100%. Therefore some currents got split into other, right, into other route, and therefore maybe this what caused the light to appear in the first place, right? So yeah, there you go, I guess. There's that. Yeah, like, yeah, there's that basically, right? Like, it's all about current, right? About the flow of current, and you included like some kind of resistance, I would say, and then the current got diverted into some other routes, and then those routes, because it has enough current, and therefore the light turns on, right? Although I'm not sure if this is the exact work of that, but I can imagine how this can work with at least with electronics, right? With current basically. So yeah, therefore, yeah, there's that. I guess this is all of it, right? Rotors assembly in okay, the three installed movable rotors are sandwiched between two fixed wheels, the entry wheels on the right and the reflector on the left. Okay, so yeah, reflector over here, right? So it travels, becomes something else, and then it becomes something else, and then it got reflected back, and then it got mixed again, and then it outputs become something else. Yeah, as you can see over here as well, when you enter at A, you cannot go out at A again, right? Because that will be a closed loop, right? And we know that current doesn't just they won't move in a closed loop, right? So yeah, there you go. Because it will create like short circuit or something like that. So yeah, that's why the output is always something else, right? And this becomes a major flaw, right? Yeah, like I guess there's that. Okay, there's this as well. Okay, yeah, I guess this is all the rotors, right? Like, if you want to move, like, yeah, like the setting basically, if you want, from A into E, into I, into J, I don't know, right? So yeah, like, yeah, basically that way, right? I guess, I mean, it's not really oversimplified like that. Certainly there is all these mechanics, right? But I'm not gonna read all of these mechanics, because I'm not expert in electronics. I'm engineer, but I'm not electrical engineer. So I don't really know any of these, right? I can only just assume how it works, really. Maybe it's not how it works, but like maybe like conceptually it's the same. But yeah, Blackboard. Okay, so this is the one that has the cable, right? Yeah, I guess have been swapped A and J and S and O, just two pairs. Oh, okay, so the Blackboard is there were 10 connections. In the photo cave, just two pairs of letter has been so okay, so like this is basically a surprise of elements, I would say, because you're swapping, like when you have swap or setting, it will swap everything within the pattern, right? But this thing over here did creates another layer in which two letters will swap into each other and each other only, right? So without any I would say without any interruption from the rotors basically, right? So this works on top of the rotors, right? So yeah, there you go, I guess. Again, I'm not sure if this is how that works, but if I have to take a guess on how this works, then this should be that, right? But yeah, okay, so this is the possibilities. Basically, this is the permutation, right? Okay, and it has, what is that, thousand, million, billion, what is after billion again? Trillion. Okay, okay, so million, billion, trillion, quintillion, I mean quadrillion, quintillion, yeah, 158 quintillion. Okay, so yeah, oh, it's already mentioned over here, I don't have to count that. But yeah, that's actually 67 bits. So bits, I think it's about 2 to the power of 67, I think, what happened here. But yeah, a lot of number, obviously, like you can just I guess you can just guess, right? You need some sort of pattern, like I said. The major flaw which the movie actually explains, right? Like certain paragraph will at the beginning of every message, I would say, it will always display the same thing, right? The same theme, in this case weather. Therefore they know, right? So yeah, like a repeated or certain word that will always be included in every message, right? So yeah, there you go. I think I'll be it for today's discussion about Enigma machine. There's actually a lot more into it, but I don't think I will read any of these. It's a little bit too technical for me. But yeah, like I guess models of that, surviving machines. Okay, and then derivatives as well. Okay, so it's probably the later that people use based on Enigma, right? Like maybe they include some of the elements there and then they use it for themselves, and probably a little bit of modifying here and there, right? And then simulators, okay, there's nothing there apparently. See also, okay, this is all the name probably, or the location, I guess, about that. Explanatory notes, okay, reference, okay, a lot of citations just like usual. The list keeps going, and then for the reading as well, the same list keeps going. External links. This is connected to other website outside the Wikipedia, I believe. So yeah, here there you go. I guess Enigma machine. So did my questions got answered about how this works, how they defeat it? Yeah, I guess the how it works, it's just basically swapping letters, right? And then the way they swap the letters using electrical current, right? Yeah, like manipulating probably the resistance, right? Because if you want to manipulate current, the one that you can do is actually manipulating the resistance, right? So if resistance going route A is bigger than B, then current will tend to move to B, right? So therefore, the lights on the P will turn on, right? So yeah, there you go, I guess. And then how to beat it? Well, I guess like based on the flow, right? The fact that the same letter cannot go to itself, and then the second one will be, I guess, from the movie, right? A certain repeated pattern, right? Like like from the letter, like first paragraph about weather, then the word weather will most certainly be there, right? Therefore, they can make all sorts of this and take a sample of the word weather and see if see which combinations will make out the word weather, right? So yeah, there's that, I guess. There you go. Like, I guess that's my oversimplifying Enigma machine, right? Of course, obviously there is more into it, right? But like I don't know any of this, but I know a little bit about the main concept of how this works, right? But yeah, I guess that'll be it for today's discussion. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again very soon, and see ya.